Hello everyone, welcome to my Game Week 23 preview for ChampmanFPL. Hope you've all been enjoying the bank holiday weekend, enjoying the sunshine. I've actually been off since Wednesday this week, and because for a couple of days it was just me that was off, I've been sat in the sunshine actually playing Champman and not just mining it for data, which has been great. I actually played a bit of the old database, which I haven't done for years. So yeah, really been enjoying that. I've been playing Champman 102 since like forever really, but I've not played the old database for a long time. I've always been downloading the latest data updates and latest patches and all, playing with the updated monetary values and updated squads and all that kind of thing. But yeah, really been enjoying playing with the old database over the Easter break for a couple of days. Sat out in the sun having a quick go on it, just me and the birds. So yeah, all the new acquired knowledge about tactics and key stats and signing players that I never would have given the time of day before because I've fallen in love with them through ChampmanFPL. So yeah, really enjoyable. So yeah, recommend it. For anyone that doesn't know, by the way, if you've just been playing Champman Fantasy but you don't have the actual game, it is available as a free download. Champman102.net or something like that, or if you just Google Championship Manager 0102. And it's something like Champman102.net, where you download the original game for free. It's all legit, so you can play the original game. You can download data updates from right back to the beginning. There's data updates for every transfer window for like the last 15 years or something ridiculous. You can play any year that you want. So yeah, just thought I'd throw that in there for anybody that doesn't know, because I've spoken to a couple of people on Twitter that it seems like they weren't aware of that, and yeah, a couple of people are like, oh yeah, I'll definitely check that out. So there you go, there's that. But yeah, anyway, this isn't my blog, is it? This is the Game Week 23 preview. So let's crack on with it. It's just a quick look at Game Week 22, the double then. So great to see FPL captain, our graphics guy. Number one for the week, 130 on his free hit. Well played, mate. Really good to see. And look at the bench as well. Could have been even crazier. So yeah, captain was number one for the week. Second half. Some big scores in here for the second half league so far. Lots of people making moves, green arrows. I suppose that would be the case, wouldn't it? But yeah, 264 points already. And then overall, Jandir, top of the pile now. Game week 22 for the leader, 102 points, no chip it looks like, really well played. All to catch, Danny J, FPL FOMO, FPL Jord, yeah, lots of names I recognise here, good to see. But hopefully I can catch you. From my perspective, I'm down on the second page. Where am I? Somewhere here. There we go, 41st. So I think I'm 106 points off the lead now. My double game week was okay, 86 with no chip. Picked the wrong captain with Salakovic. Bit of a bummer. But it's okay, 86 with no chip. Still got a free hit, a bench boost, triple captain, wild card to play. So yeah, 106 behind, but yeah, I think I'd rather have the points on the board, but I don't count myself out of it just yet. So yeah, let's see what we can do about game week 23 then. I think I say that about me, but as I've said before, I think the same applies to probably anybody on the first 3 or 4 pages, really. The hauls are there available. It's at the point of the season where you've probably got to start being brave. But you can do it. There's massive points available every week in Champman. And I think, you may as well go for it. From my perspective, I'd just as soon finish 100th as finish 15th, really. Try and win it. But there's still a fair way to go. There's still a fair way to go. I'm not, don't do anything silly. But yeah, from my perspective, need to try and make up some ground. Anyway, I'm rambling on, so let's get on with it. Bolton versus Derby. Bolton will attack at home. Derby play normal away. So Bolton more aggressive, out on top. Good handful of 3+ goals, 5 times out of 20. That's not bad for a team like Bolton. Another good handful of 2s as well. Not too many blanks. So yeah, nice strong home game for Bolton. And from Derby's perspective, yeah, not brilliant really. Don't really like Derby this week. Yeah, so home attack green. I think you could chance your arm on getting one of these. Think about the ceiling. Bolton have got a good ceiling this week. You'd be unlucky if you get one of the results towards the bottom. Incredibly unlucky if they don't score at all. And they got a fair chance of a clean sheet. Player returns, Ricketts and Wallace out in front for me, but yeah, I mean anybody that ends up in that front 3, Pedersen, Ramberg. Ramberg's not a great goal scorer really, but if he's going to score in any game, it could be this one. Pedersen I like for this one, Gardner I like for this one. Gardner's definitely got a shot of a clean sheet plus here, I think. Boro Villa. Boro attack at home. Villa don't play their awful tactic away against a team like Boro, so not too bad from Villa, but not quite as aggressive. And Boro coming out on top. Again, the home team, slightly more aggressive tactic. They do look better. Average 1.7. I think if I ran this again, like the amount of times they've scored twice. What have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 times they've scored twice. So I think if I ran this again another 20 times, then maybe another 2 or 3 of those would go into the green. Really consistent that they're scoring at least 2. So yeah, a good strong home game for Boro, and it's a fairly tight week. Not necessarily in terms of goals like it was a couple of weeks ago, but just in terms of who's going to win each game. And I think Boro are one of the stronger home teams this week, even though they don't have too many greens here. As I say, they're really consistently hitting 2. I think Boro are one of the better teams this week. Say if I run it again, I think they could easily have a few more greens in there. And Villa, yeah, so they're not playing their ultra defensive tactic, but Boro are good defensively. It's 4-4-2 against 4-4-2, so the more aggressive attack tactic is coming out well on top. And player returns, Boxit, Rickard, Cepeda. As I say, these are quite low numbers, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone or even a couple of players from Boro do very well this week. Chelsea, Leicester. Chelsea will attack. Leicester will defend this one. So you'd expect a comfortable home win. And that's what we're seeing. Chelsea hitting 3+ goals 9 times. That's really good for Chelsea. Definitely big fan of their attacking assets this week. This is probably... Chelsea are probably the team this week, I think, as we'll see as we go through. Yeah, I think Chelsea are the team of the week for me, which is a bit annoying because I don't think I'm going to have any Chelsea players. So I'll be just sitting and hoping that we get one of these games, really. But yeah, the chances are it's probably going to be one of these, I would say. And you can see where Leicester have got something. Look at the man of the match: Tim Flowers, Ian Walker, Elliott, Taggart. I mean, once has done it from an attacking perspective. But you can see what Leicester are relying on here. They're relying on a big goalkeeper performance, a big defensive performance, which could happen. But as I say, I think Chelsea are the pick of the week for me. Zenden, Carboni, Gudjonsson, Forsell. Decent chance of a clean sheet as well. Someone like Melchiot could end up with a clean sheet assist. Really like Chelsea this week. Okay. Ipswich, Blackburn. Ipswich will attack at home. Blackburn always play defensively away. Sometimes it's more defensive than others. So this is one of the ones where they're defensive mentality, but they're not men behind the ball and they are counter-attack. So it's not as bad as when they went to Liverpool, and we saw those sims where barely anybody had a shot. It's not the same tactic as that. It is. They do give themselves a bit more of a chance against a team like Ipswich. But it's really tight. Blackburn have probably got just about the better players. Ipswich are playing more aggressively, and it comes out pretty even. So yeah, you've got half a chance of either team hitting a few goals or a couple of goals. I mean, it really is. I think this one's a bit of a coin toss. Which is why I've put them all. I've put every aspect, both ends of the pitch for both teams, I've put as orange, because I think whoever you've got from either team has got a chance, but you wouldn't really count on it. And player returns: Janssen out on top, Pablo Finidi. I mean, yeah, Ipswich forwards aren't nailed, aren't they? Could be Stewart, Armstrong, Gary Doherty could play up front. Just gives you an idea of the people in the sims when they're playing in that position, how they did. Liverpool, Man City. Liverpool will attack at home. Man City play defensively away. But again, it's not too bad. They do counter-attack. But Liverpool out on top. So yeah, this is a fairly typical Liverpool home game against a defensive team. They look good to win, but without going nuts. Good chance of a clean sheet. Pretty much always the case with Liverpool at home. And you can see the man of the matches. So I said last week that against Leicester they looked unusually good for goals, which did come off. But we're kind of back this time to lots of defensive man of the matches: Carragher, Henshaw, Risa, Hippier. Sort of back to normal for Liverpool. And Owen, again, as he's not for the first time this season, Owen the only player showing any real consistency. But I do like, with Gerrard injured and some other things going on at Liverpool, Berger's been returning really consistently. So it could be another good game for Patrick Berger. Fowler, if he's playing up front, could be good for him as well. But yeah, there's an outside chance of Liverpool going off, but I like their defence more than their attack. As you can see here, defence green, attack orange is how I see it. Don't like Man City at all. Man United Arsenal. So Man United attack at home no matter what, and Arsenal against this calibre of opposition defend away from home. One of the reasons they didn't do very well in the Champions League. So Man United look good to win, but Arsenal are no mugs, are they? They're not going to consistently get battered by Man United because they're too good for that. And again, it's 4-4-2 against 4-4-2. So that often churns out a tight game if one of the teams is defensive. So yeah, I mean, United to win by 1 or 2 is the most likely outcome. And then again, as with apart from Chelsea, as with every game we've seen so far, you've got the outside chance of something better for the more aggressive team. But don't really like Arsenal this week. They're going to defend. They are good enough to score a goal or maybe 2 if you're really lucky. But yeah, a tight game that United will probably just about win. And player returns, so representative of that. So quite often you see Veron and Van Nistelrooy sort of up near 20, much closer to 10 this week. So maybe you can chance your arm somewhere else with the captain. There's a fair chance one of Rude or Veron could blank, or maybe both of them could. Or you could get a Van Nistelrooy brace with 2 Veron assists. You don't know, do you? But if you are going to go against them any week, you'd be a little bit unlucky if you were punished for going against them this week. Millwall Sunderland. Millwall will attack, Sunderland will play normal, so fairly open. Millwall just shading it. Quite like this from Millwall. 6 times out of 20 they've hit 3 or more. It's definitely the defensive end of the pitch where they're particularly poor. They're all right going forward. I even think, they've only scored 3 goals away from home this season, I think. And I would back them to improve on that in what's left. I don't think they're that bad, and especially at home. We've seen them score goals. They normally end up losing, but we've seen it a few times where they go in front in games and end up losing when they're at home. So only 1 blank for Millwall. And Sunderland, only 4 blanks for them. So, and a good handful of 2s as well. I think this is another one. I think similar to Millwall. I think if you run it again, maybe you'd get a couple more 3s in here. They're scoring consistently, pretty consistently. So Phillips out on top for player returns. Lots of just 1 brace from him. So 10 returns in 9 occasions where he returned. So 11 blanks. I think, Yeah, I think for me, I'd look at that glass half full. I'd definitely think about the 50% of times where he probably will get something rather than the ones where he won't. Especially looking at the other games this week, as I said, it's a fairly tight week where it's difficult to pick the hauls. I think for me, Phillips is better than this in the context of the rest of the week. Alexanderson, Kane, Arcatil, Savarese, yeah, I think they've all got a good chance in this game. Both teams to score looks really good. Newcastle Everton. So this is an interesting one, as Newcastle home games often are. So Newcastle will attack, Everton will play normal, but Newcastle have got their crap tactic. So yeah, another really coin toss one. Yeah, said it lots of times. Newcastle against a team like Everton. Everton aren't. They're not bad, but they're not brilliant. So Newcastle attacking at home with players like Robert, Shearer, Dyer. It's not inconceivable that they could win this handsomely and score some goals. But because their tactic is so bad, it's also not impossible that Everton could just turn them over. So they've hit 5 twice, and they weren't even red card affected. They just hit them for 5 twice. So yeah, it's a bit of a funny one, this one. Yeah, pick your favourite player from the two teams and sit and hope. Average goals, nothing in it. 3+ goals, nothing in it really. Clean sheets, nothing in it. So yeah, both attacks have got a chance. Don't like either defence. And player returns, so Shearer was pretty consistent. 12 times out of 20 he got something, with a total of 16. So that tells you that he got a couple of hauls, doesn't it? In those 12 that he did return. And then yeah, Campbell, Gravison, Di Matteo, Robert, Dyer. Who knows? Really, anything could happen in this game. I mean, if I did have to pick someone to be in my team, then I would pick Shearer. I mean, yeah, Newcastle at home attacking. Shearer's the best player out of these two teams. But equally, someone else could end up in team of the week from this game quite easily. Spurs Leeds. So this is an interesting one because Glenn Hoddle has left Tottenham. So this is a bit of guesswork really. But Spurs are at home, so they're probably going to attack. I mean, almost every team does in almost every situation. It's only really Blackburn that don't attack at home, like ever. And then you've got the low rep teams will sometimes play normal against Man United and Arsenal, and that's pretty much it. So against Leeds, I would still expect Tottenham to attack at home, no matter who's in charge. And Leeds have obviously still got Martin O'Neill in charge, so they will play normal away from home, as they always do. And this is with Hoddle in charge, so it's. I don't know, take it with a massive pinch of salt. I'm showing it to you because I'd already prepared it. So, there you go. There it is. But there's no guarantee that Spurs will play the same formation. They might play 4-4-2, which could make it look different. So yeah, it's. I think the way to play this is Leeds have got the better players and they're not playing defensively, so Leeds are favourites to win, which is what this shows. So I would play it simple and just think of it like that. Leeds are favourites. I'd be interested to see what Luke and Andy think about this on the Sunday stream. So, I mean, if you don't watch that religiously, you kind of pick and choose what weeks to watch it. Even if you watch it back, I would definitely make sure you catch the Sunday night stream at some point this week. I'm sure Luke and Andy will have a view on the Spurs situation. I'm interested to see what they've got to say, if they've got any insight as to how Spurs might set themselves up. Because it does make a huge difference. And player returns, as I say, I mean, Slakovic has come out on top, but who knows whether he'll play AMC or up front, whether he'll even be in the team. It makes it really difficult. So yeah, interested to see what the guys have got to say, and in the absence of that, I would just play it simple. Leeds have got better players. Watford, Charlton. Watford will attack this at home. Charlton will play normal. And looks like a good home game for Watford. Good handful of 3+ goals. Good average. Only one blank. Lots of 2s as well as the 3s and 4s. For Charlton, yeah, not a complete write-off. They've still scored a few goals as well, haven't they? So it looks like a good fun game. It's only really the Charlton defence that I don't like at all. I think anything else, the home attack, especially good. Home defence, away attack have got a chance as well. And player returns, all the guys you'd expect from a good-looking game, really. Helguson, Yule, Smith, Petkov, Bartlett, Kinsella, Gale. What's his name? Greg Warren, if he plays. Could do well in this game. Yeah, good fun game, this one. So I think my dilemma this week is I've got Rebrov and Wanchop in my team at the moment. So I could go Rebrov to Phillips because I've got some money in the bank. But then I'd have then I'd have Paolo Wanchop with that rubbish game away to Liverpool. Or I could stick with Rebrov and bring in Helguson or Smith for a week. So I think that's my dilemma this week. But yeah, this game does look pretty good for Watford, and I don't have Petkov either, so yeah, maybe I stick with Rebrov and get a Watford attacker in for this week. Not sure, we'll see. Top returns for the week then. So Shearer out on top. Looked pretty consistent against Everton. But yeah, Jekyll and Hyde from Newcastle, really. Slakovic, yeah, as I mentioned, difficult to call that Spurs Leeds game now. I think there's a few players on here from it. Van Nistelrooy, Veron, wouldn't rule them out against Arsenal. United will probably win the game without going nuts. Chelsea is my pick of the week this week, really. I think they're the only team that I really trust that will probably go and win 2-3-0. So Gudjonsson, Forsell, Zenden, Carboni, I think are good picks this week. Bolton, pretty good home game against Derby. Wouldn't put you off any asset from Bolton this week. So they're the picks of the week, and that Blackburn Ipswich game looked interesting as well. But again, it was a bit 50-50. I think this is a week where, you know, these aren't big numbers. There's lots of people joint on 11. There were a few more that had 10. Kevin Phillips being one of them. I think this is a week where you could just gamble on your captain. I think maybe. Attack look ahead. Arsenal not good this week, but I think after this week they've got a really good run which goes beyond this ticker. I think it stretches out another 2 or 3 weeks beyond what you can see there. So Arsenal, another good run coming up. Leeds, their next 3 I think is pretty good. Liverpool, really good run. Defence or attack, really. So you'd expect them to win this game against Man City. And then Watford home, Sunderland away, Millwall at home. That's a good run for Liverpool. Man United, good run. So tight game, but they should win it this week. Leicester away, Aston Villa away, Derby home is a good run. And Spurs. So again, this was I did this before the Hoddle news. So, but you'd think whoever they've got in charge, unless they get someone really, really defensive minded in, this should be an all right run for them. Millwall, Man City, and Sunderland is pretty good. And Sunderland themselves, as I say, I'm thinking about getting Kevin Phillips back in my team. Maybe this week. Millwall away, Ipswich home is great, and then Liverpool home. You could argue that could be orange. I may have had some bias thinking about Kevin Phillips in my mind there. You could argue that Liverpool game is orange, but they will attack it. So you'd fancy them to probably score once. And then Spurs away. Again, who knows what that will look like. But defensive look ahead. Arsenal, again, both ends of the pitch, good. Middlesbrough, I think a good defensive run. So Middlesbrough have been leaking goals a bit recently, but that was to be expected. So I think if you look at my ticker like 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, for the defensive look ahead, I think I had Boro as struggling for a good run, and that has turned out to be the case. But I think they're coming into a better little patch again now from a defensive perspective. Villa home, Blackburn away. Blackburn keep it tight. Derby away. Derby aren't brilliant. And Leicester at home, who've may attack, may play normal, but they're not brilliant either way. So I think Boro could easily get 2 clean sheets out of those next 4. Chelsea, good. So look really good this week. City away, Blackburn away, Leeds home. Good run for Chelsea. Liverpool, both ends of the pitch, good. And Man United, well, Man United just are Man United. Okay, that's it. Thanks everybody. Good luck with the game week. See you next time.